All right. What's up, everyone? This is Peyton Anderson. Welcome back to Next Level Athletes. Today, I have a special guest, Amarie Fleming. He's a Texas Tech outside linebacker, but in my opinion, really could put him anywhere on that defensive line. He's out of Mayo, Florida. Amari, thanks for taking the time today.
No doubt. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's start with your high school career leading up to your recruitment. Not only did you play football, you saw yourself star on Lafayette's basketball team, receiving numerous all-area honors while posting 11 double-doubles as a senior, while also dominating the gridiron with 8 sacks, 69 tackles, and a whopping 24 tackles for loss. When reflecting on being a multi-sport athlete, what would you say was most beneficial and useful for you when transitioning to the collegiate level? Or in other words, how did you use that to your advantage when you were presenting yourself to, scouts and coaches?
Playing multiple sports in high school allows you to show your versatility and show you're like really a true athlete, not just a football player. So I guess it helps me with that. And also I feel like a lot of basketball goes to like a lot of football moves as well. When it comes to pass rushing as well. So I feel like they help me in that way.
Yeah. Let's take a look back into your recruitment out of high school. You saw yourself receive offers from Wright State, Sewanee, Lincoln in California, St. Thomas, Missouri Southern State, and Allen University. First question, looking back on the recruiting experience, what stood out most to you about the process in its entirety? But also what you learned most after having those conversations with coaches and family, or coaches and family.
What stuck out to me mainly is just, how recruiting has changed, how it went from, like the whole high school players being the main, attraction into like now
Hmm.
NILs being involved and everything and the whole transfer portal now. So it's like the portal play like a big thing into my recruitment. So I feel like that's probably the biggest thing I noticed. And also guys are willing, like coaches are really like schools are like willing to do more to like come get you, you know?
Hmm. Second question, what ultimately led you to committing to Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina?
Okay, so it's funny story that so I didn't play against him, but it's one of my friends who's like a neighbor in school. He got an offer to
Hmm.
go there too, and then his friend that he played against in high school got an offer to go play there too. So him going there, I was like, you know what? I mean, I won't. If I go there, I won't be alone. And
Hmm.
also, South Carolina is not. I guess it's Columbia, so it's not too far. It's probably like a 5 hour drive. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be too far from home, so I can come. I can drive. I can make a little 5 hour drive back home. So it's not too
Hmm.
far home. And then I feel like also like when it comes to like going to a school, I look at it to like can I live here outside of football? Like
Hmm.
not doing myself outside of football. And it's definitely a college town, but it's like it's stuff to do around like all around the city, and it's nice there. So honestly, just just the scenery, and I have people that I know going there, and just
Hmm.
that the coaches called me, saying they give me a full ride, and just like like letting me know that they're interested in me. Also, lured me there.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, it's always nice having, familiar faces around there, especially when you're going from high school to college, kind of like a whole new world. Heading into your 2024 true freshman campaign at Allen, you appeared in 9 games while recording at least one tackle in 7 of those 9 games. You saw the program go 2-8 on the year, but 5 of those 8 losses being one-score games. Looking back on that 2024 season, what did you learn most about yourself as an athlete on the field, as well as an individual and student off the field?
Uh, I'll say just manage my time better to take care of myself, not only just physically but mentally. I mean, like college football is very mentally draining, so it taught me, that take care of my mental more, care more about the mental stuff because this game is really mental. And it just I honestly
Hmm.
I learned how to become a man. Like my coach there, he preached on being a man off the field. So like when football's over with, you have the skills and like to be a father and be a proper man.
Hmm. Um, how would you describe that season, how that freshman year in one word, or how would you kind of describe how that year went for you?
I'll say it was very how would I describe it? It was like I'll say a very complicated year. I mean, I felt like
Mm,
I should have got more reps than I did my first year. but it taught me that
Hmm.
like, even though you had a really good high school campaign, like, you gotta go out there and earn it, and like nothing hand it to you. So I feel like it just taught me to deal with adversity. Man, like,
Hmm.
I obviously my freshman year taught me how to deal with adversity mainly more than anything.
Yeah, kind of like you're going back on the totem pole again. Out of high school, you're kind of up here, and then you're kind of
Yeah, and then
working your way back up.
you're top of the world, then you're back in square one, and you just gotta work.
Yeah. Heading into your sophomore 2025 season at Allen, you saw yourself develop into one of the top Division II sophomore sack leader. You ranked third in the country for sacks at 14 and a half, tied for eighth with 18 tackles for loss. In addition to all this, you broke numerous all-time records for the program, which saw a rise in total team sacks go from 19 in your freshman year to 36 in 2025. Third, the program saw itself finish with a 6-5 record overall, notably finishing on a 4-game winning streak. First off, what happened? What did you do to get yourself to go from 1.5 sack guy to a dominating force with double-digit sacks?
Honestly, like first of all, that first year, I don't like that's messed up. I had like 4.5 that year, but either way, like
Okay.
honestly, what taught me was what taught me my second year, like what just changed was my confidence. Like I knew
Hmm.
I was coming in the starting guy, and I knew even though I was a starter, that I had something to prove. Like
Yeah.
I can't relax. And like honestly, that summer, I went home and grind. Like I did 2 days like the whole summer, and just
Hmm.
I was like I had like a different goal for myself. Like I knew that if I put the work in, I'm gonna get or like whatever I put in, I'm gonna get put out. So it's like I went home,
Hmm.
I work, kept my head down, talked to my brother, everything. Like honestly, my brother, he kept my head on straight, especially through fall camp and everything. He kept my head on straight, and I just knew
Hmm.
that if I went there and handled my business, I'll get something out of it. So mainly just, just my confidence really just backed up. Just knowing that I'll have the more reps and I can prove myself on the field. So just my confidence really changed.
Would you say that was kind of why you came back despite receiving some offers from, Delaware, Missouri, S&T? Did you feel like you knew, you kind of got a feel for it your freshman year? Is that kind of why you came back?
Honestly, like I spoke to God about it. I was asking to make help me make like the right decision, and I talked to my family
Hmm.
about it. And they honestly, ultimately like led to me saying, you know what, I'm gonna go back. And
Hmm.
honestly, I honestly don't know. I don't like. I just don't know. Like my confidence spoke up. I mean, sparked up, and I just say, you know what? If I go back here, I'm gonna dominate. So I'm gonna go here,
Hmm.
handle my business, and get it done.
Well, and you kind of know the scheme too, so you're not
Yeah,
really
like
having
I'm
to
better.
learn a
Yeah,
new thing again.
I'm more entwined with the playbook, and like I said, I like my confidence went up. So like once you know what you're doing, you can play faster. So I was able to play faster all around, and it's like letting me have a good season. So all like honestly, just all glory to God, because like I said, I cut my head down, prayed up, and He led me the right
Hmm.
way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next, let's talk about November 19th, 2025. You enter your name in the transfer portal. A day later, the 20th, you reveal on X that you committed to Texas Tech after what you described with an amazing conversation. First off, what did it mean to you to get recognition like that from FCS schools starting as a D2 athlete? You know, I don't think many people see like a D2 athlete come on to, a place like Texas Tech and, receive, scholarship and, all that. Um, what did it mean to you to get that kind of recognition and kind of how did that help, prove to yourself that, you had it in you?
Uh, like I'm gonna keep preaching about it the whole interview, but like I said, like
Hmm.
just my confidence level. And
Hmm.
but like honestly, it meant a lot to me because like I put so much into the game and I put so much into into this.
Hmm.
Finally seeing that schools like Tech, the offer me just saying, "Oh, we want you here," and we believe in you. Especially when
Hmm.
coming so early in my cycle, like they didn't wait for me to get all these other offers for real. Like they
Hmm.
got me early, so it's like it meant a lot that they wanted me to be part of the program. Like after having a really good season, it just it showed me that all my work's paying off and someone sees it. So it honestly just meant the world to me, and it's like definitely like life changing for me for sure.
Well, I'm sure it was is beneficial to see that, that they had a vision for you, because sometimes they kind, it could be anything, but I never played college athletics at all, but I'm sure a lot of times you get the, hey, come here, and then it's like we have three other guys in front of you. So I'm sure that, that vision helped. Um, what about Texas Tech was so strong? I've seen, the Instagram video that it was like home for you, but how much of an impact or impression did people like defensive coordinator Sheil Wood have on you, considering his reputation for developing stars, such as David Bailey and Jacob Rodriguez?
Yeah, so honestly, like one thing I wanted to get out like out of the sports circle was like I go somewhere that can develop me. Like I could have
Hmm.
chased the money, I could have chased anywhere, but like me, I know that if I keep my head on straight, that I can go to the league. So I wanted to go somewhere that can develop me on and off the field. And
Hmm.
the big thing was, that's stuck out to me was development. Like you got Ronaldo Hyde, you got Van Bailey, you got Rodriguez, plenty of
Hmm.
players on defense side of the ball. Who made a crazy jump like I did last year and went to the league. And
Hmm.
I feel like if I keep my head on straight, I can be one of those guys. And I see myself being one of those guys. So I took the risk with the Tech.
Awesome. Shifting to this upcoming 2026 season, where this upcoming year seems to increasingly appear to be a measuring stick for where the program stands within the Big 12 and beyond. With rosters subject to change at any given moment, what is your overall outlook on the Raiders program as a whole, and what fans can expect from you and the team as a whole this year?
Honestly, I love the atmosphere of Tech. I just love Tech in general. Like I said, I came here on my visit. I felt like home. The people here are so welcoming, and they even know I played football like when I first got here.
Hmm.
So the fact that everybody's so welcoming and like even though like they don't actually personally know you, they respect you and they treat you
Hmm.
like you're one of their own. And one thing I'll say for the fans, respect this year is like someone who's going to work hard, give them their all, and just be consistent. Like one thing I pride myself on is how hard I work and how much I'm willing to give. And honestly, my coach before I left, like in our exit meetings, he said my heart, he loves my hard work and my work ethic. So one thing I can say,
Hmm.
like I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna give it my all, and I'm gonna be consistent.
Hmm. Kind of an off side note question. Who do you have anyone you kind of compare your skill set and your tenacity and willingness to do whatever it takes to in terms of like NFL comparisons? Have you ever compared yourself or thought of, some qualities that you have similar with another person?
I mean, I can go off some people that I feel like what I've been personally compared to.
Hmm.
Like so far. I mean, like Micah Parsons,
That's what I was about to say right off
like
the bat. Like,
like Micah Parsons, like underdogs, story, like chipping on the shoulder, and also like just how you play. Like I feel like I'm kind of like try to moderate, wrap my game around like how he played. And honestly, I'm gonna be
hmm.
real. All season last year, I was watching like his videos before my games. Just trying to see what
Hmm.
I can pick up from him. Honestly.
I feel like I could see a little Khalil Mack just off the bat too, having, been at, Buffalo and what he, has turned out to be. Um, but yeah, when thinking or playing at the collegiate level, you talked about it a little bit before. The presence of NIL seems to be present wherever you go. It doesn't leave you. It's there. It's not going away. What is your personal viewpoint of the NIL world? What you might like to see changed, gotten rid of, or added? In general, I guess I'll start with that.
Honestly, I love, the NIL era as far as like being in college with it. Cause,
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like people deserve to, be paid for their name, image, likeness. Like if someone's working hard and they're performing on and off the field, then hey,
Hmm.
like, like they gotta live too, so pay them their money.
Yep.
And I mean, it definitely does affect high school recruiting as well. But like I said,
Hmm.
I feel like as far as being a collegiate athlete, NIL, is an amazing thing. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'll say one thing. Honestly, I don't really have anything I'll touch upon it. I mean, I feel like
Hmm.
it's still fairly new, so I
Yeah.
feel like things are it's things are like more like it's still things like more things to come. But honestly, I like
Hmm.
the whole NIL era thing. Like I said, if someone's like putting the work in, they deserve the money. You know.
I will say, as a person who didn't play college sports, I know that in school a lot of people would write on their papers on why athletes should get paid. So when that started, a lot of that probably went away. Um, but getting back on topic, when you're looking at NIL opportunities, is there anything you kind of gravitate towards? I know you're faith-based and that that helps guide you. Do you look for anything like that, or do you just kind of see something and you kind of go for it?
Yeah, I'm kind of like a person like obviously I'm gonna take my time, and fill things out. But like if I, if you see opportunity, just go for it and take it. Bet on yourself. It's all about taking that risk. And like I said, if I see something I like, then I'm gonna go get it.
Of course. Starting to shift off the field into the classroom. What is your major? What led you to your major? What you might plan on doing it with later in your life, or how it best represents who you are, not just as an athlete, but as, an individual off the field.
Yeah. So my major, I'm doing accounting and finance. And honestly, what's funny about it was like going like to going to Allen, my first school. I didn't know what I
Hmm.
was gonna do as a major. And so
Yeah.
it was probably like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before I report. I told my brother I'm struggling, with a major, like what I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
It's like, I mean, I wasn't, I do like some nursing, but it's hard to do nursing in football,
Yeah, that's a
and
lot of time.
yeah, that's a lot of time. And then,
Hmm.
but then my brother was telling me about how he has this friend who did accounting, like he had like a really good job. And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna leak whatever he said, but like, he's making
Yeah.
a really good amount of money. So I was like, you know what? I'm good with numbers, that's something like, that interests me. So why not give it a shot? And I mean, I like it so far. It's not too time binding. I can focus on
Hmm.
sports too and still get my work done. So honestly, and while I plan on doing it, probably getting my CPA and then working
Okay.
with the government.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Looking back at Allen University's football program, how would you describe the program as a whole and what it meant to you?
Honestly, what I'll say about it, like a lot of my teammates will say the same thing. Allen is like, what you make it. And it's very like, and I'll say it's very player and family oriented. So like, it's all about like it's not the nicest I'll say, but it's like it's all about what you make it. Like you can make it wherever you want to do, and like me for an example, you can make anything out of it. So if you want to go there for a little while and improve yourself on the field, get your film, like get your grades right, and get out, then you can. But it's like honestly, I'm glad I chose that school because I met friends there that I'm gonna be friends with like the rest of my life, and like it's honestly I met some of the coolest people there and some of the coolest people in general that I'm probably gonna talk to like for 20 plus years from now. So honestly, I'll say, like I said earlier, it's all about what you make it, and it's very family oriented. Like, also, it's a Christian school, so it was very like faith based. So,
Hmm. Awesome. Looking into Texas Tech's football program thus far, what has been your favorite spot to kind of clear your mind, relax, or concentrate when not training or participating in team activities?
yeah, so the facilities are really nice. So it's like like we have a quiet room where you can it's like you can go there and just nap or just sit on your phone and just chill in the dark. Or we also have like hot tubs. Or like whenever I'm
Hmm.
just chilling, I'll just go to the hot tub and put my headphones on, and just relax, wind down. Or I just sit in my locker. Like we got recliners in our locker, so I can just
Hmm.
kick back and just wind down my locker as well.
Nice. Shifting our focus to uniforms, what did it mean personally for you to suit up at Allen as number 92, but now with you being number 56 on Texas Tech, does the significance of the uniform itself change anything for you at all? But in addition to that, who do you ultimately look to represent and honor each time you go out there?
Uh, I feel like no matter where I go, I have the same mission. Like I'm gonna always want to work. And I have one goal in mind. So I'll say like nothing really changes there as far as that aspect about like no matter if I'm wearing 92, number one
Hmm.
or number 67, it doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna work. I have one goal. And what's funny is I chose 56 because on my island visit. We had
Mm-hmm.
like my DC that was there had a
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint, and he had Lawrence Taylor on the PowerPoint. He was comparing me to
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Taylor. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, I need a number when I go to this like my new school. And I was like, okay, well, Lawrence Taylor, is one of the best edge rushers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And and also on my visit, he showed me a picture of Lawrence Taylor. So I said, why not? It might be Colin. But
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like I'm gonna represent like the name on the front of my jersey and the back of my jersey whenever I go out there. And also, one thing at Tech we appreciate like what's our why? And I feel like my why is my mom because she gave it all for me.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my other siblings by on her own. So I'll definitely say that like that's what I'm gonna represent when I go out there.
Awesome. Shifting back to off the field, looking into an article written by Jordan Atback on November 21st of 2025 that described you as having relentless motor and uncoachable edge, and talked more about how you solidified your reputation as one of the most feared defenders in HBCU football. Um, you know, where does this relentless motor and uncoachable edge come from? How do you apply this to not just football, but to whatever else you're doing?
So I'll definitely say like it just comes from the want to like God can give you all the tools in the world, but like you have to want to use them and work on it and train on them and like I basically like sharpen that sword. And I feel like how I think about it is like if I'm working on busting my tail for something, I'm gonna go get it. Like I said earlier, and that's where like the edge comes from. Like that, it's just about really like I want to. Like I feel
Hmm.
like if you put the work in, then go earn it, and like nobody should get it from you. That's yours. Like if you earn it, that's yours. And I'll take that mindset to everything I do. Like if I earn it, I'm gonna go get what I earn and what I deserve.
Hmm. Looking more into your home life, what was life like growing up for you in Mayo, Florida? What were some of your favorite memories growing up? But also, what would you say was your go-to spot? If you're ever gonna go back there, what is that go-to spot for you there?
So my go-to spot, you saying like as far as like eating or whatever.
Yeah, it could be whatever. Like whatever. What's your like? That's the place where that's my favorite.
Honestly, I mean it's not really much in Mayo. Like it's like one stoplight, so it's
Hmm.
not much in Mayo besides like Subway, whatever. But I mean I love Southern Moore's like pizza. Like
Hmm.
it's like a little family owned business around here. Also, it's this thing called Fast Track here, a little gas station, whatever. Like I don't know, I might sound weird for saying this, but like they have like the best chicken tenders I ever tasted for real.
Nice.
So
I know sometimes the gas stations can be really good. You just
like
got to run into the right one.
I'm saying like honestly like in high school, like after work in the morning, I go there, get about a 4-piece chicken tender, and
Hmm.
I'll start my day off for real.
Hmm.
But you know, I definitely it's like nothing much in Mayo. Honestly, like nothing really to do with Mayo. But like I said, my favorite memory is like when I was younger. I can't say about my
Hmm.
exact age, 'cause I don't remember it. But
Yeah.
me and my friends will always, just ride bikes and everything like, around the town. And
Yeah.
like I had a basketball goal in my front yard, and we always, get the whole neighborhood like together and play basketball. So honestly, just playing basketball with my family, my brothers, and everything, and my friends, and ride bikes around the whole town, and everything, just having fun, and just being a kid for real.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, looking more into that family life after watching the Instagram video, introducing yourself to Raiders fans everywhere. You mentioned the impact of your brothers and your mom growing up, raising you as a single mom. Um, how have your brothers and mom impacted your life positively? How they shaped your mindset, but also how you carry yourself and your core beliefs, as to, how you got to where you are now, but also where you want to be going forward.
Yeah, so like like I said in the video, my mom raised me and my other son by myself. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. To just raising us by herself, honestly, just like it's motivating. Her not asking for much help or really much like
Hmm.
help at all for real, and her just doing it. And I know she had hard days, she had easier days as well. But that definitely took an impact on me. It just motivated me, to show that I want to get my not only my mom but my but my siblings better. You know, 'cause
Hmm.
I ain't having the best growing up, or I ain't have the most growing up either. But just see my mom go through that. It motivated me the most, just to get where I am, and just to go further. My mom always tells me yeah, you're living the dream, and you're somewhere a lot of kids want to be at, so just be grateful for it. But also, you still got that one goal in mind, and you can go as far as you want to go. And that's honestly motivating. And my brother, he's a very playful guy, but he also, keeps me on the right track, keeping my head straight. If I have a big decision, I ask him about it for it before I make it, and he always helps me. So definitely, just definitely, them, motivates me a lot because they keep my head right, and it just shows me that even though you might not like where you started at, you can always finish better and change your story.
Absolutely. In addition to this, you mentioned you are a big reader. What book or idea kind of first led you into reading? Um, but also kind of how you'd say reading helps kind of guide you, kind of like how music helps you, get in that, ready to go mode.
Wait, say one more time for me real quick, if you
All
don't
right.
mind.
You mentioned you're a big reader. What kind of led you into reading at first, but how does that kind of your reading guide you kind of like the way music does?
Definitely like I said, reading the music can change my mood and help me in like hard times. Also a reading like if I find a book that I'm really entwined with and I'm enjoying the book,
Hmm.
also change my mood. It's part of my imagination. So I'll
Hmm.
definitely say reading affects my mood probably even more than music. Because I can find a quiet room or a chair to sit down in and just lock into a book. And honestly, like when I like to read, I imagine the book going on in my head, so I can honestly be like a little movie in my head while I'm reading the book. So like I said, it can change my emotion, how I think about things, and how I view things. So also, it can also inform me about things I didn't even know before that point in time.
Absolutely. Although you're a rising collegiate athlete with a couple of seasons left, in you before making that next major decision with your life, when everything is all said and done, how do you want others to remember you not only for the athlete you are on the field, but also off the field? What is the ultimate goal or dream for you?
I want to be remembered as somebody. I'm gonna keep preaching it, like somebody who just worked hard.
Hmm.
Somebody that if you had a hard time, like you had a hard time, you can go talk to somebody.
Hmm.
Like people enjoy being around. You know, and one and actually want to have around. And I'll just say somebody who works hard and give it their all. Like no matter where I go with this or where I take this, I want people to use me as a motivation. And I want to be also a good role model and good leader because I have like little brothers and everything. So I want to make sure
Hmm.
that I'm setting a good example for them. You know, and I want to also not just be a brother, but a good father figure to them, also my kids as well. Whenever I do have kids, God willing.
Hmm.
So I want to be known as just a good person, not like a good person on off the field, and not only as an athlete. Football doesn't make who I am. Obviously, it blessed me with very I say many opportunities, but football doesn't make me who I am, and I want to be known as a good guy. Who always had a good attitude and who always work hard as well.
Absolutely. Once again, Amari Fleming, rising collegiate star, Texas Tech outside linebacker out of Mayo, Florida. Amari, really, really appreciate you taking the time and wish you nothing but the best. I'll keep in touch with you.
All right, thank you.